I don't think I moved to Mexico to change my life. I think I moved here so I can finally see it. Because sometimes you have to get thousands of miles away from your old life to finally get why you've been living it the way you have for so long. For years, I thought my biggest struggle was money. But now I don't think it was money at all. I think I spent my life choosing freedom over security. And recently, I finally started asking myself why. I moved to Mexico 5 years ago, believing I was starting over. I left everything familiar behind, sold everything, and hopped on a plane to build a life from scratch. And honestly, in a lot of ways, I did. Mentally, I was happier. Physically, I'm in way better shape than I ever was. I'm more independent. I get to be more myself. But after a while, I started noticing something. Every time I get a great paying job, my life becomes more stable, I eventually leave. Not because I couldn't do it, but because something inside me started feeling trapped. Sometimes it would take 5 years, sometimes it would take 3 years, sometimes it would take 6. But every time I was getting somewhere, something inside me would break and I would leave. I felt like my life was slowly becoming someone else's life, a life that I never actually signed up for. Like I was trading my freedom for security. For years, I kept asking myself why I couldn't just stick with something. And now I realize I've been asking the wrong question. Maybe the real question is, why have I spent my life choosing freedom over security, even when it comes at such a cost? When I really sat with that question, I'd realized I'd been carrying a definition of success that actually wasn't mine. My parents, they immigrated to Canada a year before I was born from the Ukraine. They learned to speak the language, they built a life from scratch, they opened up a bakery, and soon after a European deli right next door. It was in the neighborhood we were living in. Everybody knew my family. Keeping up appearances was important. Whatever happening inside the house was left inside the house. What I saw was stress, sickness, exhaustion, depression, no life outside of work. Or if there wasn't that much time to enjoy it. I think somewhere along the way, I thought to myself that this is not the kind of life I would like to lead. Is this what success looks like? Is this what having money looks like? It just didn't feel right. It felt like you were sacrificing your time, your life, and experiencing life and all the joys that it has to offer. No wonder freedom always felt more valuable than security. Moving to Mexico, it didn't erase any of those patterns. It gave me enough distance to finally recognize them. Sometimes changing countries doesn't change you. It simply gives you a different perspective. You finally see the beliefs you've been living by instead of questioning. Do you ever notice that the word belief has the word lie in it? Kind of strange, huh? So, I think that once you can see those limiting beliefs, you have another choice. 6 years ago, or actually even 5 years ago, there would be no way I would be posting a video like this, let alone making one just for myself, if I ever did. I was too afraid of being judged, too afraid of using my voice, of being seen. For years and years and years, I have wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I have been petrified of being on video. So every time I press record, I'm finally choosing freedom. Not freedom from a job, but freedom from the stories that I have been quietly running my life. Maybe this is why I'm making these videos. Not because I have it figured out, I certainly don't. But because every time I sit down in front of this camera, I'm choosing a different story than the one I've been living. And for me, that's what starting out looks like. Yeah.